Hey guys, I hope you're doing well and welcome back to my channel. Now today I thought it might be fun to talk about some of my favourite indie games that I have been enjoying over the past year or so. As you know, as you've probably seen, indie games have become quite a staple to a lot of us who play a lot of games, and obviously Nintendo now hosts their own kind of like Indie World Directs and stuff. There's also like the Wholesome Games Direct that focuses a lot on like cute cozy indie game developers, which I think is amazing. And I think a lot of us, especially in the age where AAA video games have become very expensive, we're kind of going towards games that obviously are a lot less expensive, and obviously we like to give our support to indie developers. So I have a little list on my phone here of some games I have been enjoying. I've also got my fishing Hello Kitty cup because it's a bit warm today, so I need some water. So yes, the first one that I downloaded a few months ago now is a game called Sticky Business that I think some of you have probably heard of. This game kind of goes on the premise where you own like your own sort of like sticker business, and you kind of go about packing orders, sending orders, and it sounds very simple, but honestly sometimes you just need a kind of like not terribly involved kind of like relaxing game, and I think it's one of those games that are quite good to kind of play when you're like watching TV. I personally enjoy games where you do like the same thing over and over. Some people don't like that. Sometimes I really like a game like that, and you get to make your own stickers as well. A game that it gets you to be able to design your own things or be creative is like up there. Like I just want to design stuff. Like it's a surprise I don't play The Sims more, to be honest. So if you're into that, then Sticky Business is definitely going to be the game for you. It is on, I have it on Switch. It's on like most consoles. I mean, most people probably buy everything on Steam, but it is on Switch as well. The next game is actually a game that I played, well, last year, and that is Gone Home, and I'm sure a lot of you have already heard about this game. Now, when I first downloaded it, not gonna lie, when you first start Gone Home, it is very creepy, and I'm not like a horror game person. Like I'll happily watch horror games, playing them is another question, and I was recommended this by a lot of people, and just trust me, even if you're not a horror game person, the ending is worth it. I don't want to say too much because I will spoil it, but despite the creepy vibes of the game, which I must say they do so well, like it's not a very long game, which I think is a lot of like for me personally, it is a big kind of like thing with indie games, because obviously sometimes you will pay like maybe 10 or 20 pounds for a game and it is like say less than 10 hours long, but a lot of the time like the experience you have with that game, I think it's very good. And sometimes I think AAA games are probably a bit too long for a lot of people, although I do love a good 100-hour JRPG, but it's not very long. But honestly, what you do get to experience within that game is totally worth it. Like I said, I can't say much about spoiling the ending, but trust me, once you kind of get used to like the creepy vibes in the game, which if you obviously enjoy that, you will enjoy that aspect too. And it's kind of very fun poking about, you know, this big house you're in, trying to find out clues, trying to find out and piece together what's kind of happened and gone wrong, and that's something that I really enjoy too. Then trust me, Gone Home is honestly a perfect 10 out of 10 game. The ending is what makes the game like incredible, and if you've played it then you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Like please don't spoil it in the comments for those who haven't played it, because it is one of those games that you just have to play for yourself to be able to experience it. The next game, which is in a slightly different category, is a game called Dr. Deca. Now it is one of those kind of like let me get this right, FMV murder mystery kind of like live action games. Now I'd never played any of these before, like, so, but I do love a good murder mystery game, I must say. And I must say it is quite a unique experience playing a game that is shot in live action. Like the main premise of the game is that you are playing the role as a psychiatrist trying to solve the murder of the previous psychiatrist you are taking over, and you kind of like are treating these patients and also questioning them. There are loads of kind of different like routes to explore, which is another thing I like in games, is when there are kind of like multiple endings and routes and stuff, and it kind of goes off like the whole kind of like Cthulhu vibes thing, and kind of like trying sort of like it really kind of like messes with like your like psyche and stuff, and it kind of convinces you that you're like going crazy. It's easy to explain. Like if you're playing it, you'll know what I mean by that, and you can kind of choose whether or not to like go down that route, like how much you kind of like question the patients and stuff. And like I must say, the actors who are playing the characters are like so good. It's so well done, and strangely I didn't think I would enjoy like a live action game like that, but I've actually gone on to kind of try out some of the other games like in that particular style, and honestly it was so fun and so creepy. I loved it, and I was kind of like really sad when it was over. And yeah, like every time you play, a different one of the patients is kind of like the murderer, so it's quite fun. So you can kind of like keep going back and trying to like read. Like it does have some kind of like replayability, which is what I really like in especially indie games as well, as they can be quite short. So if you like your murder mysteries and your FMV games, then that is definitely one for you. Another game that I have very recently downloaded, and that is on my Steam Deck, which I'm probably going to be giving a lot more love to now, is a little game called Kawaiikaty that I believe has just come out. I haven't played too much yet. It's kind of like a cross between, it's in like the Stardew Valley style, whereby it's like the pixel art, but it's kind of like all sort of like underground, and you kind of like you spend your time underground kind of like mining, finding ores, trying to kind of like build like a little world like underground. Like so far it is adorable. I must say the only thing was when I first started the game, I had no idea what I was doing. I had to watch like a little quick start guide because I was so lost, because it didn't actually tell me any of the controls. So that was my only kind of like gripe with it. But once I got going, like I picked it up really fast, and like I do love Stardew, but I do also love, I really like the kind of like underground sort of like mining side of it as well. Like I really enjoy like mystery dungeon games, so to me it's kind of like a perfect combination. And I think like I love Stardew, don't get me wrong, but I think for me personally I was getting a little bored of like just kind of like Stardew Valley style games. Like the farming simulation world is very oversaturated right now, I have to say. So it was nice to kind of get something in the same realm, but like a little bit different as well. You know, I'm never gonna say no to a pixel art game. It's just like 10 out of 10 cute. I believe it's under like £15 on the Steam store, like as most of these games are, so they're all like pretty affordable as well. So I look forward to getting into that more as well. The one I've actually played, but I have been greatly enjoying a YouTuber that I watch called Kawaiikaty. He has started playing a game called Trading Card Game Shop Simulator, and as you know, there are many kinds of simulator games out there now. There's like Power Wash, Ghost Simulator, Supermarket, there's like literally everything you think of it, there is a simulation game of it. It's quite incredible, and it's kind of crazy that no one had brought out a game like this yet. And like this is like just dropped, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to get it if it runs well on Steam Deck. But obviously the premise is you are running your own trading card game shop, and honestly like the time and effort that's gone into designing these cards, I think there's like over like 1,300, is like incredible. Like it's so cool, and I must say I could honestly watch him opening card packs for hours and hours. It's quite addictive, and like obviously if you like trading card games then you're gonna enjoy it. And like they're pretty expensive in real life, so this is kind of a good way to kind of like supplement not being able to like buy them all the time. It's just like a fun nerdy game, and who doesn't love a good simulation game? So, and I think there's quite a lot of like expansion options within the game, and I think they're probably going to be giving updates down the line. So like this is one I'm definitely going to be picking up very soon. And the last game which I want to give a bit of a spotlight to today is Coffee Talk. Now I think obviously Nintendo just held a direct, or it wasn't like a proper Nintendo direct, but it was kind of like an indie world one, which again I really loved that they're holding like special indie directs now. and I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Coffee Talk now, and they're actually coming out with the third game. It's coming in, I think it's January next year. And basically Coffee Talk is a game whereby you are kind of like a barista and you spend your time talking to customers. You kind of like get to know them, and you also get to kind of like make and serve drinks. And honestly, it's just like the chillest game ever. Like, it's so nice. The soundtrack is like 10 out of 10. It's honestly the perfect game to play in an evening. If you like making coffee, then it's like totally up there. But honestly, Coffee Game is a very, very special game, and I'm very excited for the third one to come out. Like, I really want to get like the soundtrack on vinyl. So those are just a few of the indie games I have been really enjoying and loving over the past few months to a year. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm probably gonna make another one of these like down the line, because like I said, there's just so many amazing indie games coming out that I like want to try, and I really love, you know, if you guys tell me which ones you've been enjoying. If you've got any you're looking forward to coming out soon, like, I'm all open to suggestions as well. And like, yeah, indie games make up like a pretty, to me anyway, they're kind of like the backbone of like the gaming industry right now, and I think it's really nice to show your support and love to kind of like small game developers as well. So yeah, I look forward to kind of like seeing what the future holds for all the indie games. Thank you guys for your support as always. I love and appreciate you all very much, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye!